Good afternoon, everyone. The topic for my lecture today is the process or the skills that are required to enhance the quality of practice in teaching. Practice in teaching, as we all know, forms a very important part of the B.Ed curriculum. And also, the students find it very pressurizing, and maybe some of us find it a little difficult also to manage. Now, what is teaching actually? Teacher, as we all know, is an artist, and an artist cannot be trained. We can only teach the artist certain finer skills so as to enhance the effectiveness or the impact of the art that we are conveying. So, if we delve into the issues or the skills, abilities that are required for an effective teacher, we will find that these abilities, these skills are already within us. The only thing that we need to do is to bring them out or to present them in a manner that our students would find interesting and absorbing. What is teaching? If we go into the definition, we will know that practice teaching is actually a procedure which is designed to equip our prospective teachers with the knowledge, attitude, behavior, skills they require to perform their tasks effectively in the classroom. The most valuable thing in this practice and teaching is the feedback of the different people who observe you and participate in these sessions. These different perspectives make us think on the further development of this process. If we think about what are the essential skills that one requires in order to be an effective teacher, the first is the ability to listen to ourselves, and the essential disposition that is related to this skill is the responsibility or inclination to respond to others in an appropriate way. Now, what do we mean when we say that the ability to listen to ourselves? Whenever we are facing a classroom of say around 50 students or so in the world, in the classrooms that we have today, of course it is a crowded lot, but still sometimes what happens is a student wants to know something which does not form a part of our lesson planning. We must listen to the question of the student very carefully and then decide, as per our intuition, whether the question is relevant to the lesson. Even if it is not so, we may politely instruct the student to ask the question at a later time. But as a teacher, as a good teacher, as an effective teacher, we must always remember that we must never discourage the students or their enthusiasm to ask questions or to find out, or their ability or their attitude to know new things. The second essential skill required is the ability to be critical and reflective. And the essential disposition is the appreciation of our existence as social creatures who need others to survive and thrive. Now, supposing if we are teaching a lesson in zoology or in biology to school students, and if it deals with the effects of the coronavirus or the pandemic, then we must discuss not only the scientific facts related to the disease, but how it has influenced the society as a whole, how the mental fabric of the students have been affected due to the pandemic, the students have been forced to stay at home. They were not allowed to enter the school premises. They could not meet their friends, and so they were missing the normal social environment that they usually are used to. So for that, we must have the ability to be reflective in our thoughts. We must be able to convey very clearly, and for this, what do we need? The knowledge or the usage of language. Whatever language we are using, it may be our mother tongue, it may be a foreign language like English or Hindi. But what is necessary is, in order to convey our thoughts very clearly, the pronunciation needs to be absolutely correct, because the students, particularly the ones whom we face during practice and teaching in schools, they are learners in a stage which we call a parrot-like stage. They imbibe and copy their teachers thoroughly. In fact, many of them are also impressed by our personality and try to copy that. So for that, in case our pronunciation is defective, we will not be able to convey our thoughts in a very clear manner to our students. And when they are not able to understand the topic clearly, how can we expect them to ask any questions or to be critical or to critically analyze the topic or the lesson? The third ability or the essential skill that a teacher requires in order to be effective is the ability to be flexible problem solvers and decision makers, including the ability to resolve conflict in creative and non-violent ways. The disposition that is essentially required for this would be appreciation and inclination towards involvement with social justice. Many a times we hear our teachers speak a particular dialogue. Don't come to me with problems, come to me with solutions. Any good leader, be it a teacher, be it a principal, be it a vice chancellor, nobody likes to hear only about problems. All of us prefer to save some of our energy and also be happy when we are faced with solutions instead of problems. So, but as we know, in the school atmosphere, there are many students. Some of them do it deliberately to stop the flow of teaching which is going on, and they may ask questions which are not related to the topic or which are not socially permissible. So now what the teacher has to do in such a situation? Do not discourage the ability of the student to question. Instead, the teacher must explain the social relevance of the problem and hence be a good person and should be able to demonstrate the ability himself or herself before the students. The next essential skill is the most important of all, that is the communicative ability. That is, to be able to participate well in the discussions and argue, but argue thoughtfully. Never stop your students from carrying out any arguments, but the points that they raise must be important, must be pertinent and related to the topic that we are discussing. The disposition, essential disposition for this is the inclination to serve others. When we have that within us, only then can we serve others. As we know, there is a quotation of Rabindranath Tagore, who happened to be a famous philosopher, even though he did not have any formal degree. But after he had established the International University, somebody asked him one day that you had attended certain classes in schools. Sir, would you remember anything from those lessons and give us an example. Do you know what that great man said? He said that I remember only one sentence out of the so many books that my teachers consulted or read out from. And what was that sentence? That sentence was, as the wind swayed and the leaves trembled, I could see the dewdrops trembling on the leaves. We can express it in Hindi. पत्तियों पर ओस कण कांपते हैं और हवा से पत्तियां इधर उधर हिल रही हैं. So that is a poetic expression which probably appealed to him. Maybe the manner in which it was read out by the teacher became very meaningful for the little Rabindranath Tagore, who was probably in class 5 or so when he heard it. And at the age at which he remembered and he narrated it in his university, he must have been around 50 or so. For so many years, he was able to recollect and remember that one simple sentence. And he had also told his students that besides this sentence, he did not remember anything from the books. But he had also emphasized that he remembered each and every example that the teachers gave related to the society, to the life of the students, or the life of the society as a whole. The next capacity is collaborative capacity, that is learning to compromise and work together towards a common goal. And as a group, whenever we are teaching in a classroom, the teacher must consider himself or herself a part of that group. And not only consider, we have to have that feeling within us that I am one of you, one of the students. So these were some of the skills that I felt are required and would enhance the quality of practice in teaching, which is an important part of the B.Ed curriculum. There are some more topics which we will cover in my next video. Thank you.